Hello, ladies. My name is Jada Maya, and I am your strategy girly. I love strategies. I'm also rooted in faith. I believe in Jesus Christ. So if you are looking for ways to combine your faith with your strategy, if you've been feeling like your goals for success has been separated from God, and you never thought about it being in combination with God and how that works together, I am your girly. So today I want to talk to you guys about a system that I use to help me succeed during the week. Yes, Cleo. Say, my mommy got a system for y'all. Cleo, say hi. So Cleo Bell is also, Cleo Bell is my baby dog. She believes in Jesus wholeheartedly. Say, yes we do. Say amen. Amen. You believe in Jesus? You go, Pop. We got a doggy having. She wanna go play with her toy. You want your toy? Y'all may see Cleo every now and then. Sometimes she wants to be in my lap. Sometimes she wanna go play. She don't know what she wants. So this strategy that I want to talk about is the Life Dashboard. The Life Dashboard is a system that I created to help me stay focused on being a steward as I navigate life. I want to be a steward of all of the things that God has called me to steward in the Bible. And I want to make sure that it is something that is top of mind, something that I'm recognizing my strengths, my weaknesses, and something that I'm prioritizing throughout the week. So every Friday, I list all of the things that God has called me to steward. He has called us to steward our talents, our finances, our health, our relationships. He called us to steward our time, our faith, our influence, our calling, our testimonies, and our mindset. That's a lot. And there's probably more I didn't mention. But God calls us to be a steward of those things. So what I would do is I will list all of those things and I'll put a system next to that and I will rate each of them 1 through 10, being realistic and honest with myself, what I was going to do at the beginning of this week and what happened. And I will reflect. I will look at my strong areas. I will look at the systems I have in place to help me be more of a steward in those areas. And I will review them and aim to achieve certain things for the next week. Now, you can aim to be a steward of your temple for this month and prioritize your temple this month. You can go through and prioritize your time next month. But what that looks like for me are small steps in each area daily. So if I choose to fast from my phone from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. because I know that I have an issue with doom scrolling when I get home from work, I give myself some time to scroll so that I'm not just taking it and struggling, but I get that out. And then I use the rest of that night to do everything else that I was supposed to do and get done. So if later that week on Friday, I look at how I was stewarding my time, and instead of me putting my phone away at 6 p.m., I doom scroll till 8. I'm going to reflect on that and say, maybe I need to shift this time to 7:30 in the morning and then move myself up there. So then I get used to being productive without my phone. And then I get into a space where I'm able to create consistency in habits that allow me to be disciplined in the areas that God has called me to steward. Another example is if I decided to not eat candy and chips. First thing I would do is check my cabinets. If I have candy and chips, they must go. Maybe instead of getting rid of candy and chips, I look for healthier alternatives. That way I'm not getting rid of it immediately, but removing the ones that are super bad and then replacing it with some that are healthy alternatives. Maybe putting more fruit in the house so that when I have that craving for sugar, I can just eat fruit. I can snack on some fruit before I go to sleep rather than going to get a cake. If I want something salty, maybe I found a healthier version of a chip that I can eat, or I get some peanuts or some cashews, salted cashews. And it's something that I can crunch on that gives me that same salty taste almost, but it's a much healthier source than you eating a bag of Doritos or hot Cheetos. If I'm craving something spicy, Maybe I buy some jalapenos and I add that to my meals so I can have a spicier meal rather than going to eat hot Cheetos and hot Funyuns. So this allows you to see the areas that you are lacking and create solutions, and then rate yourself at the end of the week to see it. Oh, hey, I pushed myself a little too hard in that area, or I can go harder, or maybe I need to settle down a little bit because this is an area that I will have to work through consistently to get to the place that I want to be. But actively work to be a steward. Actively work towards that discipline. It will happen sooner than you think, as long as you are pushing and you're believing yourself and you are taking the steps daily to get there. As long as it's top of mind, you will feel convicted and you will continue to push forward through it. And God will show you too. And reading the Bible and reading scripture, He will show you what areas He needs for you to prioritize. And maybe those are the areas that need to be closer to a 10. And maybe the other areas that are not prioritized for that month are maybe 5s, 4 and 5s until you can get to that point. But God is not calling you to be perfect. He's calling you to be aware. And He wants you to work on those things and try to be a steward and be as disciplined as you can. Just because you are following His word and you love Him so much that you are willing to give up worldly things to follow Him. But alright, girl, take that system. It's called the Life Dashboard. Take the Life Dashboard with you into this week and let me know how it goes in the comments. If you do not follow me, go ahead and like and subscribe, and I will see you soon.